Good afternoon, Massachusetts Democrats. I am Tami Gouveia, candidate for Lieutenant Governor, and I'm so proud to be speaking to you from my hometown, the city of Lowell, Massachusetts. The city that made me a lifelong Democrat, an activist for positive change, and the principled leader I am today. Thank you so much to the Massachusetts Democratic Party for convening us safely today. And thank you to each of you for your commitment to our Democratic Party and principles. I believe that together we have created the strongest reflection of our values for justice and equity. Our platform is a model for Democrats all across the country as we commit to creating a party that is more inclusive with strong statements against racism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, and homophobia. We have demonstrated our commitment to our veterans and our working people, and we have included language that is gender neutral and inclusive of our LGBTQ+ community. I have no doubt that together we will achieve the goals that we set forth in this platform. And while our collective efforts have strengthened our party, we know we still have more work to do to become a truly representative and inclusive democracy. And as we continue our inclusive organizing, I have no doubt that together we will reclaim the corner office. For too long, the Baker-Polito administration has failed to lead us through the economic, social, and public health crises of the last 6 years because they have intentionally chosen to prioritize the interests of the wealthy, the influential, and the politically connected, while completely ignoring the needs of so many of our working families, especially our immigrant and low-income neighbors and families and loved ones of color. I am running for Lieutenant Governor because I believe that we deserve leaders in the corner office who put the health and well-being of every single resident at the center of decision-making. As a mom, as a social worker, a policymaker, an organizer, and a doctor of public health, I believe I am best positioned to do just that. In response to the emerging opioid crisis in 2007, I formed the Lowell Roundtable on Substance Abuse Prevention. We leveraged our partnerships, our compassion, and our diverse membership to secure millions in state, federal, and local dollars. And we use those dollars to make investments and to support our young people and to make sure that people who needed treatment had access to it. Within days of the 2016 presidential election, I formed the Massachusetts chapter of the Women's March on Washington. The 10,000 people who marched from Massachusetts in DC have become part of engaged and new Democratic activists. They have been organizing like hell to make sure that we have Democrats in local and state office, and they've been working hard to flip our state's seats from red to blue. And as a state representative, I have championed bold policies to mitigate our climate catastrophe, to increase access to mental health, and to address the opioid crisis, and also to make investments in public and higher education, transportation, and in policies to support our working families. As a doctor of public health, I have called repeatedly on the Baker-Polito administration to increase equitable access to PPEs, vaccines, and rapid antigen tests to ensure that as we reopen our economy and our schools, that we are doing so safely and without leaving anybody behind. I grew up right here in Lowell, Massachusetts. My grandfather was in the Carpenters Union, which put my family on solid economic footing. But my neighbors, my classmates, and my friends were not always as lucky. Some struggled with addiction and domestic violence and had nowhere to turn and no helping hand. Others suffered trauma, racism, xenophobia, and the despair of intergenerational poverty. Many worked multiple jobs and pinched every single penny just to get to the end of the month to realize that they were falling further and further behind. It was through witnessing and feeling these injustices that I was first inspired to go into public service. When my children were 3 and 6 years old, I became a single parent. While raising my children, I felt the loneliness, the fear and shame of economic instability that so many of our families experience today. I worried about how I would get my kids to school and myself to work if my car broke down. I had $60 for my grocery bill, and sometimes that wasn't even enough. I felt the constant worry about how I was going to pay my medical bills and my utility bills. And I oftentimes went to bed stressed about what the next day would bring, and there were many times that I thought, what am I doing wrong? But then I realized that it is our policies that are wrong. It is our approach to solving those issues that is wrong. And it is the fact that we are leaving so many families behind that is wrong. As the next Lieutenant Governor, I am driven to lead with empathy, to lead with an unwavering commitment to inclusion, and a dedication to put people at the heart of decision-making. I will be a bridge between the corner office and every corner of the Commonwealth. I know what it takes to bring people to the table, to invest in the common good, and to create the transformative, innovative solutions we need to solve our housing crisis, our climate crisis, to ensure that every resident can go to the doctor without getting saddled by medical bills, has reliable and affordable transportation, affordable and high-quality childcare, and equitable access to education, including higher education that is debt-free. As the next Lieutenant Governor, I am committed to creating real solidarity across our state to amplify the needs of our Black, Brown, Indigenous, immigrant, and low-income communities, and to rebuild trust in our state government that takes care of the health of its people. I am committed to being that leader. I am ready to get to work with you and everyone all across our Commonwealth to fight for a just, sustainable, and equitable Massachusetts. I am Tami Gouveia, and I look forward to earning your support. Thank you.